Credit Tennessee. They were the better team tonight. Tough physical team. Coach Barnes' teams are always that way. Thought in the first half our defense was pretty good. They scored it at 1.05 points per possession, which is solid defensively. 7-point deficit at halftime. And then, I felt like in the second half, and you credit Tennessee, they scored it at like 1.4 or 1.45, something like that, which is not good and not solid. Fouled, got to the free throw line. I think at one point they made a bunch of threes in a row. There was a stretch there where they made some big threes to really stretch the lead. They're the number one rebounding team in the country for a reason. I thought we were getting hurt. And then I thought if you look for any silver lining in the second half, I felt like our guys did a better job of limiting their second opportunities and second shots and showed a lot more fight and grit in the second half. But credit them. Congratulations to Tennessee. We got some work to do. And got a game, on Saturday before the break. Got to have a couple good days of preparation and respond the right way.
Questions for Coach Kelsey?
Yeah, Pat, with Mike Hill being a game-time decision, I'm just curious how much you guys were able to prep, in the event that he wasn't going to be able to play tonight and kind of how things would move without him in the lineup.
Yeah, we were hopeful the last couple days that he'd be able to play and just to see how he responded to treatment, and he was in pain the last couple days, and limited him the last couple days in practice, and tried to get him going pre-game to see how he felt by the time the game started, and he just wasn't able to go. So, we had an idea. I don't want to say I knew he wasn't going to play because Katie's awesome at what she does, and he was getting treatment. So we were obviously working on contingency plans in case he didn't.
Yeah, Pat, the toughness and the physicality, you're ready for that for Tennessee. You experienced it against Arkansas. How do you feel like you handled that, and how much of what you saw could you have used some shots to go in sometimes when you're a good shooter?
That helps. That helps when the shot goes in. You always credit the defense and you credit the other team. I have to go back and watch the tape. I felt like we had looks that we make a lot at a higher percentage. They just didn't go in tonight. So that obviously helps. From a physicality standpoint, they're averaging 45% offensive rebounding percentage, which is number one in the country by 3 full percentage points. And, overall we held them to 35% on their overall misses. And like I said, I think there was a big uptick, if you will, in the fight and the grit and the toughness in the second half. And I thought we were better in that regard. But they're physical in every single aspect. They just are. They want to make it hard for you to move and to cut and to screen and things like that. And I felt like, when we were able to move the ball, move people, and get into multiple actions, I thought we got some really good stuff. There were times when they muddy you up with their physicality and those type things, and then it kind of caused us to stop moving, not get into actions, and then we got a little bit stagnant. So things that we'll clean up. We'll watch the tape, and we'll learn from it, just like we learned from the last loss we had on the road, and get ready for Montana on Saturday.
Pat, I think you kind of touched on it there, though. Do you think their physicality, they'll kind of hurt the composure throughout the second half, and maybe some things were rushed a little bit?
I don't know about that. We were ready for the fight, and we got tough kids. We got a tough team. You guys have seen us play for a long time. We got gritty, tough dudes that fight. I don't know. It's hard after the game sometimes without watching the tape, but when you look at second half defense of them scoring at over 1.4 per possession, you could really point to every single aspect from a defensive standpoint that we weren't good enough. You know, transition defense, weren't good enough. I thought our pick and roll play, pick and roll defense, not good enough. I think our off-ball screening stuff, all the stuff that we really focused on in preparation, that we were pretty good in the first half, it wasn't good enough. And I don't know if it was the frustration of us not getting into a flow, not seeing shots go in from an offensive standpoint that was affected on the defensive end. I don't know, but if that's the case, that can't happen. That can't happen regardless of what's going on the other side of the floor. It can't affect you from a defensive, you know, what's happening on the offensive end. It can't affect you on the defensive end. And, you know, my gut, without really diving into the tape and watching it, is that happened quite a bit. You know, there's no other reason that a team like that would score it at 1.4 per possession, and that's gaudy. That's unacceptable to go on the road and win a game on the road. You got to be better than that, regardless of what's going on the offensive end.
Yeah, with Sananda getting only 3 shot attempts, was it just you know, merely their physicality keeping him from getting any looks around the rim, or was it just, you know, just a matter of just him not getting enough touches or looks tonight?
Yeah, 3 shot attempts probably not enough. You know, can you manufacture more ways for him to get touches and things like that? Probably, but you know, yeah, we can do a better job in that regard of probably figuring out ways to get him going a little bit more. We need him to, and three field goal attempts aren't enough. I mean, that's whether it's schematically getting him the ball for some post-ups, or, you know, our guards getting the ball off the pick and roll, getting him touches in that regard. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You know, Ryan plays the majority of his minutes at the 2, so it was kind of and he plays some 1 for us. And then, you know, Kobe went down, came back, and then got hit again. They came over and told me with, like, I don't know what it was, 7-8 minutes left, that Kobe was done. He couldn't go back in. They want to evaluate him and things like that. So he had a big responsibility on his shoulder today, Ryan, to kind of run the team and to be the quarterback throughout the game. So, I mean, part of that could be on me to make sure we're manufacturing and figuring out ways to get people involved, but, you know, our guards got to get those guys involved as well.
Last 2 straight in the back.
Willie got the start tonight after Michael was out. Just what did you see from him, and if he has a big confidence boost after his
Yeah, I
performance?
thought Adrian did a really good job. I mean, he didn't know he was going in the starting lineup until a couple hours before the game, and I thought he played with great aggressiveness, played with a lot of confidence, played on the attack, made some baskets to start the game, get us off, get us going. You know, I thought he did a really good job.
Jody, last one in the front.
Pat, with Michael, it's obviously those are tough ones. It's just a day-to-day thing, I assume, just keep getting treatment. And the second part is what, you know, if you do have to miss him, how do you want the guys to learn from this tonight and what they did, you know, without him out there with you?
I mean, as far as the first part of your question, I don't know. You'd have to ask the medical people in that. So, you know, in terms of adjusting when somebody goes down, that's just the deal. I mean, every team in the country, in every single sport, has people go down and injuries. And you've heard me say this before, and it's the old sports axiom of next man up. And that's why you have 13 guys or 15 guys on scholarship, however many you're allowed to in today's day and age. And other guys got to step up and change their role from time to time. That's part of sports, and we'll do that.
All right, thank you all.
All right.